We've been making progress, but we've got more work to do to make sure that every one of these young people, that everybody who's willing to work hard, has the chance to get ahead. We've got to make sure that our economy works for everybody, not just a few. We've got to make sure opportunity exists for all people, no matter who you are, no matter where you started out. You've got to have confidence that if you work hard and take responsibility, you can make it. But we don't do it by just resting on what we've done before. We've got to outwork and out-innovate and out-hustle everybody else. We've got to think about new ways of doing things. And part of our concern has been our high schools, a lot of them were designed with curriculums based on the 1940s and 50s and 60s and haven't been updated. How do we start making high school in particular more interesting, more exciting, more relevant to young people?
It stands to reason. If we can make high school more relevant to students, they will be more motivated to learn. After all, learning is a personal experience. In the end, it is up to an individual whether or not they retain new information or embrace new experiences. We all know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, the same holds true for our students today. You can sit students in the classroom, but you can't make them think. It's a basic human fact. Most of us are not motivated to work hard until we understand the benefits of our efforts. So the bottom line is this: without willing and motivated learners, all our best reform efforts will be in vain. The Freshman Transition Initiative understands this fact and, along with its partners, has developed the tools and the systems to quickly and efficiently bring all students to the realization that not only is an education important to their future happiness, but that future is also attainable. Started more than a decade ago, this total school reform effort was first reported in 2005 in an article in the National Association of Secondary School Principals, Principal Leadership magazine. Dr. Rebecca Dedmond, director of the Freshman Transition Initiative at the George Washington University, shared a school-wide program model that was designed to impact school retention and college matriculation. In short, schools that adopt the Freshman Transition Initiative model have every entering freshman complete a semester or year-long course that is based on the course standards for freshman transition classes and culminates with each student creating a meaningful 10-year plan. Then, in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grades, students' 10-year plans are updated in each of their academic courses and used by all teachers for advisory purposes and academic coaching. In Diplomas Count, published by Education Week, it was reported that nationally more than 1/3 of the students who drop out of high school fail to make the transition from the 9th to the 10th grade. This explains why, for more than 2 decades, schools and districts across the country have struggled to develop freshman transition activities and courses to address this critical transitional time for students. Unfortunately, many of the freshman transition programs and efforts failed to impact school retention because there were no plans, no roadmaps, no guidelines or standards to point the way to success. Teachers were left to their own devices to develop from scratch what should be a rigorous, comprehensive course. In far too many cases, due to lack of resources, the outcome did not meet expectations, and eventually, the programs were abandoned. This has been a frustrating cycle, to say the least. In developing the necessary standards, it became clear that in order to achieve the ambitious goal of impacting school retention, the new standards had to go beyond traditional career exploration. Career exploration is only one facet of what motivates students to take ownership of their futures, so additional measures were added. They include helping students to consolidate and establish their identity, create a comprehensive 10-year career and life plan, master the skills and attitudes of a resilient personality, and, most important, understand the consequences of dropping out of high school, post-secondary training, or college. A successful freshman transition course and initiative requires 5 key components. They are a 10-year education and career plan for all students by the end of the 9th grade, a curriculum that meets the standards, well-qualified and enthusiastic instructors, a school-wide initiative in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, leadership continuity over the first 4 years. The key element of a freshman transition course is the development of a personalized 10-year plan grounded in each student's career goals and lifestyle expectations. The outcome? When all students have a comprehensive 10-year plan that's updated throughout high school, you'll have more motivated students. Why? Because students now understand in a quantitative way the value of a good education. Because they have a vision of a productive future that matches their own personal goals and dreams. They recognize the benefits of working hard to make their desired personalized future a reality. And they'll have an understanding of the consequences of giving up and not getting a good education. So how do we get all 13 and 14-year-old students to create a 10-year plan that will be personalized and meaningful? It starts with a course based on the freshman transition standards. This semester or year-long course carries the same rigor, credibility, and status of traditional academic courses. Whether implemented as a standalone freshman transition class, used as the foundation for freshman academies or entry into career pathways, or integrated into academic courses such as English and math, the goal is to enable students to take ownership of their own learning. The course standards for freshman transition classes function as the blueprint for these well-designed freshman courses. They provide a roadmap for teachers, administrators, and policymakers. Teachers who incorporate all of the standards into their coursework have the formula for a class that culminates with each student developing a comprehensive 10-year education and career plan. But that is only the beginning. Once the course is complete and the 10-year plans are finished, you'll want students to continue updating and using them throughout high school. This is known as the school-wide initiative. Adolescents need to revisit their plans on a regular basis to update and verify that they are on the right track. The more realistic their plans, the more likely they'll be to exert the energy and effort to follow through. This annual revisiting of the 10-year plan is best facilitated using the Get Focused, Stay Focused follow-up modules. Developed by Dean Diane Hollums of Santa Barbara City College after attending a freshman transition workshop in 2009, the Get Focused, Stay Focused initiative and follow-up module workbooks build on the freshman transition initiative by giving students opportunities to expand their career and education options in the 10th, 11th, and 12th grades. Helping students get focused in their freshman transition course and then stay focused in the follow-up modules helped earn Santa Barbara City College the coveted Aspen Institute Award for Excellence as the co-winner of the title #1 Community College in 2013. In addition to having students update their plans throughout high school, you'll also want to be sure to provide each teacher with immediate access to all of their students' current 10-year plans. You can do this by putting their 10-year plans online. That way, every teacher has increased insight when advising and personalizing their efforts with each student. For instance, if a student is failing a course that is required for their desired career goal, any academic teacher, upon reviewing the student's online 10-year plan, is in the position to coach that student. Using the student's specific dreams and goals for their future as the starting point of their discussion, teachers can either help them devise a plan to make up the deficit, or, if the student is reluctant to exert the energy, rewrite their plan with lowered expectations and a lowered lifestyle. If a student has taken a course based on the freshman transition standards, they'll fully understand the consequences of that and will be more likely to stay focused on their goals they've identified in their 10-year plans. They'll buckle down and bring their grades up.
If you're focused, if you're working hard, you now have a platform so that by the time you get out of high school, you're already ahead of the game. You're already in a position where you've got some skills that make you employable. And then you can just take it further, whether it's a 2-year college or a 4-year college or graduate school. But the point is you have a baseline where you know if you're focused here at this school, doing your work, you're going to be able to find a job. And that's what we want for all the young people here. We want an education that engages you. We want an education that equips you with the rigorous and relevant skills for college and for a career.
The work has been done for you. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. By implementing a freshman transition initiative in the format of the Get Focused, Stay Focused model, you will change the culture of your school and help successfully launch students into their decade of transition. Your students will come away with both the skills and attitudes needed to succeed in the highly competitive 21st century. The insight they glean from a carefully crafted freshman transition course, culminating in a 10-year plan, will provide the incentive needed to help them become self-motivated learners, which is the only surefire formula for personal success.
As a country, we've got to do everything we can to make sure that every single young person here can have that aha moment. You know, that light bulb goes off, and suddenly you're not just studying because your parents tell you to or your teacher tells you to. You're studying because you know you've got something to offer. And that's part of the message I've got for all the young people here today, is your potential for success is so high as long as you stay focused, as long as you're clear about your goals, you're going to succeed.
When you change your students' expectations and attitudes, you change their lives. Let us assist you in jump-starting an effective program that will change the life courses of all your students and, at the same time, send a clear message to the President that your school is taking responsibility for its future by making sure students take responsibility for theirs.